So from day one, we've all wondered who the man in the red shirt was, the security guy who was always kind of filming everyone there that day and wouldn't let anyone access the lift area at all. So we now have information on to exactly who that is. So this is obviously the guy that I'm talking about. He was also seen in the picture, the last ever picture of Adrianna. He was sat at the bar watching the family members. Now, according to Lewis and Mika, who we always trust, she's the auntie of Adrianna, he is also the one that threatened. He pulled out a gun to shoot Adrianna's mother and her brother when they tried to go into the hotel to look for my niece. And this is Bola, the son from the hotel. Now, he is actually the hotel owner now. It used to be his father, but they call him son. It's kind of his nickname. He is staying at the home of the guy in the red shirt under heavy security from the sheriff security firm. So his name is Ramesh Sukraj. He is the brother-in-law of the Doubleday owner's son. His sister married the man's son. He is his brother-in-law, operate a business in Diamond. It's located at Avenue A, and the name of the place is Shop Hub. I'll post pictures of it soon. These people have an obsession with kids. Their main mascot is a symbol of the place as a Chucky doll, and that says a lot. For a few years, these criminals were protected by the big boys in the GPF and customs. They have made a lot of illegal goods in the business, mainly alcohol and chicken smuggled from Suriname. These are facts. Derek, a customs supervisor stationed at Moleston Creek, does the illegal clearance of the goods. I said what I said and I don't care. It's time criminals in Guyana be treated as such. Also, they don't pay any substantial tax to the GRA. I bet the police might find me before they find the real killers of Adrianna Young. And isn't that the truth? These corrupt police officers will find the man who is telling the truth before they will ever find the killers of Adrianna Young, just like they found and punished Nurse King for something she hadn't even done.
Collins, who sent him to Guyana. And the next question is, who paid him? Because these guys are not going to leave, go into another country and just do something for free. He's not going to purchase a ticket first class or business class and travel all the way to Guyana, just like that, all the way to Guyana. He left Delaware. He bought his ticket with his own money, spent his own money at a hotel for a night or maybe two. Something isn't right. Who paid? Who paid for Dr. Collins? Because if it is the family's doctor, the pathologist that is, that this pathologist went to represent the interest of Adrianna Young's family, then who paid? The government cannot pay this pathologist to go and represent and to be independent, to represent Adrianna Young's family. Certainly not. And so the question is, and I hope those reporters in Guyana, and this is something that the liar who represented the family in the beginning, wasn't aggressive enough, mind you. These are questions that these are answers the public would like to hear. Who brought the chief medical examiner of the state of Delaware to Guyana? And this is what we got to get on top and ask these questions. Who paid his airfare to Guyana? Who put him up in a hotel? Was he paid? If so, how much? That is what you call democracy. That is what you call transparency. And this chief medical examiner has an obligation. He cannot go into another country and do and conduct an autopsy in secrecy and then leaves and say that's it, that he has no obligation other than to collect a little small piece, collect a little money, and then beat out. No, it is not going to work like that. And even if I have to take the Chinese bus, I think it's about $8. the Chinese bus or 12 bucks and go to Delaware at his office and sit and wait for him with a microphone and camera in my hands and say, Chief Medical Examiner, I have some questions for you, sir, about your recent visit to Guyana. What's the real deal? Who paid your passage, as we would say, to Guyana? Who paid your airfare? And who was responsible for your hotel accommodation? Simple. This is nothing personal against the doctor. This is not questioning him in no way, sense, or form, but he has a right to respond, or we have a right to ask those questions. And I believe I will take that Chinese bus for $12 or whatever and head to Delaware and sit in front of his office and say, hey, doc, can I talk to you for a minute? I have two questions for you. Who paid your airfare to Guyana? And who invited you to Guyana? That's all. If you guys think that I should take that $12 Chinese bus to Delaware and meet with this
questions,
chief
and we
medical
get into the
examiner,
bottom of
let
it.
me know. Because at the end of the day, the P.P.P, this is how those Calabash folks in the P.P.P operate. They are going to send an email to chief medical examiner and tell him don't respond to any questions asked. No. The government of Guyana cannot dictate to this guy. This guy has a law, not a law, he has a medical practitioner's license, and he is obligated to tell the truth. You cannot conduct an autopsy and hide the results from the family. It cannot happen at all. Forget about Dr. Glenn Rudner.
What we want to know is how and why are these things being allowed to go down? And if you hear me clearly, drop a 9 in the comment section, Delta 9 family. If you're hearing me clearly, drop a 9 in the comment section. And we get into the bottom of this. We want to understand what's going on. Because in a country where persons is saying, look, we left in no stone unturned in this case. We're making sure that everything that possible that we can do, we're going to do it as a government. How are these things still being allowed? How are these things still being allowed? And we understand that why they're being allowed is because this is the same people behind the whole situation. It's the same people bringing in the doctors, and allegedly, as we could see right now, it looked like it's the same persons that is helping to prevent justice.
Forget about Barbadian pathologist Dr. Shubhakar Kara Paul. Forget about them. But I'm more interested in this chief medical examiner. I think I'm going to take the $12, $8 Chinese bus right around the lane. I will do that. And I will go live on Facebook so you guys could see me in the Chinese bus rolling to Delaware in front of his office. Trust me. We got to get to the bottom of this. No matter what they try to do, no matter what they say, something in right. Something in right at all. Something fishy. You know that soca or whatever? That is what this is about.
Definitely.
Fishy. Something is fishy about this whole situation.
You know what else is crazy? Up to now, right? We still to really get a final on what's going on with the actual toxicology report and an actual detailed press conference or some type of article, something to inform the public about what actually are the findings of this autopsy, hearing bits and pieces all over the place. And even the family in getting the real justice that they should be getting from the police. And look, it happened on the 24th, right? 23rd into the 24th. And guess what we got coming up on the 24th into the 25th? One of the biggest shows that the country ever had. And we got asked ourselves if this is one of the things that has make them really look at us and say, look, we could do them anything and then put on a show, or they said like, look, black people like party and we ain't got focus. We know how to deal with things in a real way. And sometimes they might even go as far as thinking we ain't got feelings, because how you could do something this heinous and then in a couple of weeks you got something else that is on the table to help us to now push this in a different direction. But no, we're going to keep it on the headlines. We're going to make sure that we keep highlighting this.
That is why the corrupt P.P.P regime, they want to hide this whole thing. Because they know why. Of course they know why. And of course JAGDEO believes, what does he believe again? He believes that
really. And this country got some really stupid people, really. And this really. And this country got some really stupid people, really. And this
he just pointed out one of the stupid persons there. But take a look, take a listen, guys. This is the guy. This guy.
How can McCushion, who just came into this country, I think he came in Monday, and this has been reported Friday, how can he determine that the documents that were handed over to him are all the relevant documents and videos and all? How can he, what process did he go through to determine that all these documents that were handed over to him, or the documents that were handed over to him by the police, are all the relevant documents? You see, I like when they talk. I did statement analysis. I did course in statement analysis. And when he...
Why we like the top cops? Why we just bring the information from the top cops? Because guess what? When they come on, they just give you an insight into this information that is coming from high-ranking police that would have served at a high caliber. And as you can see, these is men of integrity, bringing you the real information and analyzing what's going on. How are you saying, but you are already get all the information and them things? You just come in the country, plus you're retired, so we understand that you're going to be of age. No disrespect to the brothers that might be of a certain age, but you just come in the country. Where you gathering? How you gather the understanding already? Maybe hear the analysis from the top cops them and how they view this situation right now.
He is going to say right away, I believe the credibility gone down the line. Because he is saying, is reported to have said, he noted that he received copies of all relevant documents, pictures, and videos relating to the incident from the police. All right, you received documents on the police. You received statements.
Where it seems like if this retired, right, Canadian Mountain Police, like he coming now for play another game like the pathologists them be playing. Seems like if he come in for brush certain things under the rug and then they can say, look, we brought in international law enforcement and this is what their findings are. You hear what one of we own telling we? You hear what one of we own telling we? You hear what Mr. Slow is saying?
Receive whatever from the police. Mr. McCushion, I want you to tell the Guyanese public, how did you determine that those were all the relevant documents? I tell you, let them talk, man. When they talk, we can come here, we can analyze, we can skin them up. Let them talk. You got so many other things I want to go through, but before I got you more, let me bring in CC. CC, based on what I've said so far about this thing on yesterday, I know if you looked at it, and this first part of this statement is a 4-page statement. It's a 4-page article. We only there halfway on the first page. But let me hear you, CC.
Well, I read it, you know, and the first part I agreed you. How in heaven's name he can decide that all the relevant documents, you're telling me that he already come to certain conclusion already? They can't come to certain conclusion that he received all the regular documents? Something is wrong somewhere with that guy. He started
Something wrong. Something wrong, and you're hearing Mr. Slow explain, and then Mr. Conway come in. Two of our high-ranking police officers. They serve for a number of years, right? And they telling you on the ground. You can't just make them conclusion just like that. How is it possible? How could you make that kind of conclusion right away? You just come in the country. You just come in the country, right? Right away, you don't know all of that. Who going on? Who's you, boy? Who's you? Seems like if you're trying to sell me a dream, but we ain't sleeping. You're trying to sell us a dream, but we are not sleeping.
on the wrong foot. You could go on with the rest of the day.
He started at the wrong foot, and it's not a back foot, because as cricketers, we know front foot could be the right foot, back foot could be the right foot. Unless you, my Uncle David, when we listen with cricket and we talk about the man play the shot off the front foot, David will say, you're jackass, you get front foot and back foot. Only jackass get front foot. That's what my uncle used to say. I used to talk real fast. So he said, you talk back foot and front foot. You're jackass, you get back foot, you get front foot. So that's right away, Mr. You got to question Mr. McCussion's judgment. That's if we believe what is being reported, and I believe what is being reported. This man come to do an investigation, and you telling the family.
And this is a powerful point right here. This is a very powerful point, right? He knows that he is supposed to be providing the family with a copy of his findings. You can't just do things and you ain't telling the family nothing what's going on. And US based for real, we need to have a class action where a number of persons petition against this right here. This is serious, you know, because how he could be doing these type of things, how he is allowed to do this, and then it's being presented as if that's the way that it is go, and that's all that, you know, the government is saying from the president's mouth that they would have done everything, and now they're leaving it to the political actors. What sense that make? And what's the real justice that's gonna come out of that? We got to keep highlighting it. We're gonna keep it on the front burner. We're gonna keep it in the headlines, because justice for Adrianna is gonna mean justice for Adrianna and so many other persons in Guyana.
Family and the lie a couple of days after that you receive copies of all relevant documents, pictures, and video related to the incident from the police, which he would thoroughly review before conducting any interview or deciding which individuals would be interviewed. Upon completion of the investigation, McCussion explains that he would be submitting a report to the government. He's submitting a report to the government as a government employee, but there was no guarantee that the family will be given the copy. But I can guarantee that they are not going to get no copy. Because remember when the RAS came to investigate the allegation by Bascom, the producer, they accepted of producer report, and the Ministry of Home Affairs give us snippets. That report has never been released. That is state secret. The GDF helicopter crash report never released. When they're done, you're going to be heavily redacted. They're going to say security reasons, and for all that, I can't tell you certain things. So this report will take the same pattern. Whatever is released can be heavily redacted.
A dark reality, because
in other words, you can blackout. Guyana is familiar with blackout. Now let me continue. We got about 15 minutes more. Let me continue. They said thank McCussion for assisting with the investigation and raised a number of questions and concerns on behalf of the family. He asked the retired RCMP officer to explain his experience in handling homicidal drowning cases and how many such cases he had previously investigated. Todd also inquired whether McCushion was a medico-legal death investigator, MDI, or had received any specialized training in that field, emphasizing the importance of such expertise in cases involving homicidal drowning cases. According to Todd, McCushion, hear this carefully, according to Todd, McCushion acknowledged that he did not possess this training. Todd further highlighted the availability of forensic scientists with relevant expertise and recommended the name of a forensic scientist at the University of the West Indies. According to the statement, Todd conveyed to McCushion that given the complexity of the case, his experience and qualification might not be sufficient to conduct a comprehensive investigation, which may require more specialized expertise. He recommended the need for a more competent group of forensic.
Yeah, we're going on. The person that they bring don't have the expertise to conduct the investigation, right? But he already making the conclusion. And that's why he making the conclusion, because he don't have the expertise. So that's why he's saying certain things that ain't making no sense. He doesn't have the expertise to conduct this level of investigation. Look here, what's going on here?
Forensic specialists. Additionally, the attorney highlighted the family's concern regarding the lack of transparency about the members of the investigating team and pointed out that the Guyana Police Force currently lacks a trained and competent medico-legal death investigator capable of coordinating the necessary specialization and experts to thoroughly handle the case. That then inquired whether McCushion was prepared to recommend to the government of Guyana that they select a competent team of specialists to address the investigation's complexities. Mr. McCushion responded by committing to raising these concerns with the appropriate authorities. So let me we won't go too far. The part where he said, the man admitted he didn't get the relevant training as based on what Dr. Todd inquired from him. So he didn't get the training. How many similar?
Y'all hear what the top cops them saying right there. Y'all hear for y'all self. It's so crazy to think that that type of thing would be allowed in this level of case in the country by a president who would have visited these people more than twice. That's what the family saying during their time of mourning, saying that he's gonna help and do everything to help. And then you're bringing a guy that is untrained to handle this particular thing. Not just though, he's retired, so he's not answering to nobody like that. He ain't really answering to nobody. He answering to you because you pay me. How long we gonna allow things like this in GT, boy?
What cases have you done? I don't think a number was given. For you know, the man might have never done a similar case, drowning, with all its different complexities. And if you listen to the experts on Friday there, you will hear about the complexities in a drowning case. You're going to hear about all the complexities, not as straightforward as some people believe.
Study hard, work hard, play harder. Verb, nerve, and muscle power. Keep thinking and moving at any age. Verb, nerve, and muscle power.
I don't know how they have concluded that. You know what is one of the key, clear findings of the...
As we always do it over at Delta 9 Media, we want to bring both sides of the story so that right-thinking Guyanese could analyze and make your own conclusion. We ain't got no political party, you know. We ain't got no political party. I am here to make sure that I highlight injustices and certain things that's going on in Guyana because I have a large platform And that's what we do over here. We support the government when they have earned our support. We always about betterment and improvement and growth in Guyana. Meaning the political sides in this. Leave it here what the Attorney General got to say, and then we're going to draw conclusions from what is presented here.
A forensic examination, that there was no marks of violence. The body exterior and the interior was examined. They said there was no evidence of.
If there was no marks of violence, Delta 9 family, what were those marks on her face? What was those marks on her hands? What was those marks around certain parts of her foot and her hands? What were those marks? Eh? And why is the Attorney General yet again speaking on medical things and explaining certain things that we can get from seeing the actual report? Why didn't want we see the actual report? Because then you could hold the doctors accountable. Let me get into this.
A killing, and Vivian would tell you, would understand what a killing is, right? They had no evidence of any sexual engagement. The hymen was intact, the genitals were examined.
You see, that's why they got Norris King lock up a day like today, and the person who released the video pay $1,500 and walk out of jail, you know. Because the way that Norris King and other persons as well explain it is that certain things we just hear the Honorable Attorney General say right there allegedly did not go down like that. Norris King is saying that it did not go down like that. Other voice notes are out there with persons saying that when they originally examined the body, they found all kind of things on it, and they found certain bruises in certain genitalia areas. And quote, they're saying that it was relaxed. Now, you heard the Attorney General just say right there. The thing is this, when they do the second autopsy and they do this real investigation into what's going on, what will be the conclusion? We will keep highlighting it so that persons can stay updated with everything that's going on in this case.
There was no abrasion, no interference. It was ordinary. I think the word they used it was, I can't remember, there's a word, a scientific word, meaning that it is in its pristine state. So where are you getting, this is what three pathologists, two from the United States of America, one from Mount Sinai, one is a lead pathologist in Delaware, one from the government of Barbados. On what basis are you concluding as a murder in the face of that? You have nothing on your side, but you concluding as a murder. That is it, and that comes from a parliamentarian in the main political opposition party. And that is why I continue to say that they cannot be interested in justice because they are doing everything to interfere with justice being achieved in this case. They are perverting the justice course. What they are doing, however, is championing their own political causes. They see this as a platform. They have nothing else to go on right now, and I don't want to get into that political narrative.
Before we move on from the matter of investigation, AG, could you explain to us what is the retired Royal Canadian Mounted Police investigator empowered to do as far as investigations are concerned, and how will that be connected to the work of the Guyana Police Force?
First of all, the Guyana Police Force is the sole, exclusive, and premier law enforcement agency in Guyana to deal with civilian crimes. even when they are.
This is the case. They take we for fools, but we stupid. We not. And that's the problem. That is the problem. That's why 200 persons right now is sitting on fake terrorism charges. That's why a lot of other persons find themselves in all kinds of situations because they think people stupid, but we listening and we paying attention to this. People all over the world are paying attention to it. Why? Because it is a gruesome act and people should be safe to recreate with their family wherever they would like. And if, even more so when they're patrons at an establishment, they should be protected from situations like this. They should not have to go out and worry, hey, I gotta look over my shoulder to see when I'm cheering them there every couple of seconds. At 1 o'clock in the day in Guyana. You know what we used to be doing? Playing cricket or running around playing soccer or something. And as soon as we done, when the sun get too hot and the bunny we too bad, we gone in the black and swim. Who would we? Nobody. What kind of country we creating and left in for them children? If duh is what we're gonna allow for go on. And then you got people coming and telling you a set of foolishness.
Army is invited to launch joint operations with the police in dealing with internal matters. The civilian authority, that is the police, takes precedence over the army. So the investigator had to be sworn in as a member of the Guyana Police Force. And that would invest him or vest him with all the powers that the Guyana Police Force is conferred with under the Police Act, Chapter 16.
Wait.
And
It's
that
not
gives
a
him the
funny
right
situation,
to
but
conduct.
sometimes you gotta laugh for your sort of stupidness, right? No, the same police force who was selling dreams since before this girl got discovered unalived in a pool, where they said that they search and and we are to believe that by this overseas retired mountain police now being a part of the prestigious Guyana police force that was just doing all of this bogusness at the scene, and we're not going against all the police because we know for a surety that they are right thinking members of the Guyana Police Force. They are honest member of the Guyana Police Force. They are hard working member of the Guyana Police Force. And I grew up next door to one of them. And my godfather is one of them. Right? So we're not gonna get into that. But in this case, what was the even mentioned for? Doesn't make any sense. Or he's now a part of the Guyana Police Force, even though he retired from the Mountain Police. So now he's invested into the investigation. What does that mean? How far are we getting with this investigation so far? The father is saying he getting no justice from the same police force that you saying the overseas guy that you bring was just invested into.
The investigation along with the other investigators. Do everything that is required under the investigator and put his findings up. And that is what he's contracted to do, to produce a report in writing within a time specified in his contract.
AG, is his presence in Guyana mainly to build public trust in the process, or is it that he comes with special skills that will enhance what the Guyana police can do?
Both. And there's a third element, and rightfully so. He expressed their concerns about the police conduct of the matter. The president, in one of his initial engagement with the family, made a promise to bring in a foreign element to assist with the investigation. And that promise was delivered upon in the form of this gentleman. The regional component of that Royal Police Force here in the Caribbean, I think, recommended that gentleman. The government doesn't know that person. He was recommended from the Caribbean itself I believe he may have done.
So you are here. That is the overseas help that was coming. Yeah, take a good look at it, big man. And that is all the help that we will be getting from the international law enforcement departments as it relates to the Adrianna Young case from the mouth of the Attorney General. What are your views, Delta 9 family? What's your views? What are your views? The guy agreed that he is not qualified after the lawyer asked the questions, right? And then we hear that that's all the help that we'll be getting from international law enforcement via this particular government when it comes down to this case. What does that mean? I'm not gonna say it, but we got sense we don't know what it means.
Work in the region before. So yes, it is to add objectivity, to boost public confidence, to assure the family that the government is committed to ensuring that a professional, objective investigation will be concluded. And also, indirectly, you bring forensic training to the police force. He's working with a team of police officers. And he has already made contact with the family for the newspaper reports that I'm reading. He has made contact with the lawyer of the family, and the investigations are ongoing. But I see the lawyer made some unfortunate.
You know what? You know what, PA? There's really a thing for we really to speculate, because why they so against the FBI? Why are they so against the FBI if they really want to catch a person that doing this type of heinous thing to children in the country? Why they against that? They make any sense? It ain't making no sense. Something going on. Something ain't looking right.
Statement, which he's not qualified to make.
Why didn't the government of Guyana go for serving members of either the FBI, the RCMP, or the Scotland Yard instead of retiring?
I would not be able to answer that question, and I don't think it makes a difference. I don't know. You wanted somebody quickly. When you want to engage agencies that are, or officers who are formally part of agencies, you have to go through a process. This guy was retired, and apparently he does this. He offers this type of services, and as I said, he does this in the region in particular.
So,
Mr. NANDLALL, I'd like to take you up on this question Dennis asked about the government retaining serving members of other government agencies for investigations. I'd like to ask you, and I know that this is something that recurs over and over in Guyana, that there are calls for these foreign agencies to take over. Is this something legally possible in Guyana that the government could retain members of investigative agencies of other countries to legally serve in their police capacity in Guyana to investigate crimes in Guyana, totally unrelated to the laws and crimes against those states?
I expressed my view on this matter as a matter of policy. We have a police force here that is authorized by our parliament to be the premier law enforcement agency in the country. I will not advocate a derogation from that policy objective of the legislation unless Parliament changes it. You have a police force that you are relying upon to maintain public order and law and order in your country and to quell disturbances and to maintain peace. That police force consists of human beings. There are men there who are highly qualified. For the first time, we have lawyers, we have accountants, we have engineers, we have pilots in our police force. These men work hard, they work dedicatedly. And then, through no fault of theirs, individually, they are sick.
And then y'all use them and abuse them and put them in positions to where they are embarrassed because of the corruption that's going on in the country. Don't forget that part.
Sidetracked because some public demand arises and their role is now superseded by some external agency that possibly can't even do the job that they can do. And then when all the work is finished and a higher remuneration package is paid out and the glory is shown upon this exclusive and exquisite grouping that comes into the country and goes out back with the glory and the money, we depend upon this grouping here to continue to put their shoulders to the wheel. Is that fair to any institution? Is that fair to our police officers? So as a matter of policy, I don't advocate that.
But is it fair to the public who says that there is reduced trust in the police force?
No, but then we also have to examine, as I said to you, is that a view genuinely held by the public or one that is held by a certain section and influenced by others? But I don't want to get into that.
You see, they really think we got sense in it. They really, really think people stupid, buddy. And the thing is this, the more that we highlight this, the more that we keep this on the front burner, is the more they can't sell no dreams, and the illusion is going to be no more, and persons are going to see what's going on in the country.
G-O-L-D. Is it G-O-L-D? Gold, G-O-L-D, right? So this is how it works. Let me make sure that I'm calling the names right.
And the corruption is on many levels. Is on many, many levels. And if we don't pay attention to all the levels at which persons are manipulating our society, then things like what went down with this young girl will continue to happen because people got certain power and they're going to flex it to control and do whatever they want to do. What kind of life is that? The country feels safe to y'all, buddy. The country feels safe all over the world looking at Guyana now and saying, oh, like this is a situation that is bringing us and putting us on a highlight, like when it was Jim Jones and this and that. How you think this feel as a person all over the world? You're traveling and people looking at what's going on again. Oh, look what they're doing to kids over. No, there's not we society. There's not what we about. There's not what we about. So we're gonna make sure that we highlight and make sure that we present the information so that you can be updated with what's going on the ground. Draw your own conclusion. Draw your own conclusion there tonight, family.
Right here, okay? Let me make sure I'm giving you guys exact information, okay? These are the names that I want you guys to do some investigations in, okay? I want to make sure I'm giving you guys this information, okay? JAGDEO has two good friends. There are two known smugglers of gold. That's what I'm telling y'all. The Mohammeds ain't as big as these guys. I want you guys to listen to this name right here. This is the name I'm gonna call. Okay, his name is Tamesh Jagmohan. Tamesh Jagmohan. He has way more money, all right, than the Mohammeds, and he's a personal friend of JAGDEO. That's who is financing the campaigns and all of this stuff right now. Okay. And there's another one by the name of Arafat Kwalender. He's the He's the fuel smuggler. Okay? These two guys right now, they're the ones that smuggling the most gold out of Guyana. Now, how are they smuggling gold out of Guyana? And why is it pertaining to Venezuela? And why is it from Ali and JAGDEO not raising a stink about Venezuela right now? This is why. The United States has a lot of sanctions against Venezuela. No country is supposed to be doing any kind of business with Venezuela because they themselves will face sanctions from the United States. However, there is one country that doesn't have sanctions against Venezuela. That country is Turkey. Yes, Turkey. Yeah. So this is how the scam works. Gold is extracted from Guyana, and it's not reported to the Guyana Gold Board. There are no taxes paid on it. All right. This gold is smuggled out of Guyana by way of Venezuela. Right? So Jagmahan.
If the US already slapped down Venezuela with one set of sanctions for certain things that they do, how could we now have persons in authority allegedly making certain moves that's being presented here by our brother Hector Nature Boy, who is ex-military, who is ex-US military? He's telling we look at what's going on here with these implications with persons making certain moves. We listen to what's going on because these is the things that's going on in the country that is causing and allowing certain things to be possible.
And Qualender and all of them, their goal, they don't pay no taxes. There's no royalties paid to the government, to the Guyana Gold Board or whatever. And these are personal friends of JAGDEO, that they are enabled and they have the blessing of JAGDEO. That's why the GDF don't mess with them. The Gold Board don't mess with them. Nobody messes with them. And they are allowed to smuggle this gold clandestinely out of Guyana to Venezuela. And from Venezuela, it is taken to Turkey, where it is sold for billions and billions of dollars, all right? Turning these guys into billionaires, real-life American billionaires, right under your nose in Guyana. So why y'all running up and down now, fighting each other over race of, oh, coolie this and black this and all of this stuff? Why y'all fighting? Why poor people are fighting for these same rich people that are robbing y'all? They're robbing y'all like dogs. They're treating you like dogs. They throw you crumbs. They throw you cash grants. They throw you family grants. They throw you grants for kids to go to school. They said they give you all of these bullshit crumbs while your real money from your country is being smuggled out. Your gold is being smuggled out through Venezuela. Now, this whole Venezuela thing, this is another scam. All right, this whole Venezuela thing is the biggest scam of whatever. All right, Maduro is not going to attack Guyana because Maduro's scared. Maduro fighting like hell to stay in power in Venezuela. All right, so he ain't got time for this Guyana scunt. Everything he doing is a fucking scam. He do things over here while he doing shit over this side. So he distracting you on this side while he doing bullshit on this side. The P.P.P is taking advantage of this entire situation. They're the ones that's taking advantage of this. All right. They are making billions and billions of dollars. And this same money is being funneled back into Guyana to be used to win an election, to rig the next election that's coming up. You guys understand where I'm coming from? So that is what is going on in Guyana right now. Yes. All right. So these are the names right here. I want you guys, go do your homework. And I'm going to call the names again. If they want to sue me, let them come sue me. Because you know what? The information that I'm getting is coming directly from the banners with bangles are waiting for y'all. Jagmahan, they take away your visa. You think that's the only thing that they're done with you in? Then done with you yet, Banner. All right? Tamesh Jagmahan and Arafat Qualender. Okay? Okay? Most of the country's goal is going to, listen to me. at least 75% of the gold. Listen to me, guys. Listen to me. Okay? Listen to me carefully. 75% of the gold that's coming out of Guyana right now is not being reported to the Guyana Gold Board. It is being smuggled out of Guyana into Venezuela, then it's been put on ships and sent to Turkey. There is no sanctions against Venezuela from Turkey. There are none whatsoever. So ships can sail to Turkey from Venezuela under different flags, carrying all of Guyana's gold. So if you sitting by the seawalls and you see a ship sailing from Venezuela,
Yeah, they were going on there. Yeah, they were going on there. So not only do we gotta worry about Exxon and all the other problems going on with DOR, but we gotta worry about another one of our main resources being plundered allegedly in that way. What y'all think about that, Delta family? What y'all think about DOR? What I'm gonna ask is that every person right now, if you haven't already, thumbs up the live, buddy. Thumbs up the live, boost it in the algorithm. It takes just a few seconds. Click out to the screen, hit the emoji button, thumbs up the live, and let's move forward with the content. Let's move forward. Let's hear what each of our telling right. Because if we don't pay attention to these things, when certain situations happen, we can ask ourselves how and why. We can ask ourselves how and why.
Venezuela, just know it's your money, it's your gold from your country that is being smuggled out into Venezuela and then put on a ship and sent to Turkey by these two names right here. Tamesh Jagmohan and Mr. Arafat Kwalinder. That's the honest to God truth. If they want to take me to court, let them take me to court. If they want to sue me, let them sue me. They got this thing called disclosure. And I'm willing to go before any court in the world and reveal exactly how I know what the fuck is going on. All right? I can reveal every fucking thing. All right? I got huge bracketing on this one right here. All right, so let's go on, okay? All right. And you guys wondering how come I know all this stuff about the golden and all that stuff. Listen to me. I'm gonna tell y'all who my sources are. Well, I'm not gonna call names, but I'm gonna tell you where they're coming from. There are a lot of people that work for the Guyana government, that work in the Guyana government, that are sick and tired of the fuckery that is going on. They are sick and tired of the fuckery that is going on. They're sick and tired of watching a certain elite group of people make all the money while everybody else in Guyana is suffering. So when my sources come to me, all right, and you know what? It's P.P.P supporters is coming to me. This is not no P.N.C. Because P.N.C. ain't got nobody smart enough to fucking do these things. So don't, whoever the P.P.P supporters watching right now, thinking, oh, this is P.N.C. P.N.C. Nobody in P.N.C. is smart enough to do this kind of stunt. All right? So don't even waste your time worrying with P.N.C. All right? The big waste of time party. Don't even waste your time worrying about them. All right? Don't even worry. They P.N.C. didn't even have money for pay their own fucking light bill, much less so for being involved in intelligence like this. Okay? This is an intelligence gathering mission that I've been on for a while now. And I finally got my voice back, and I finally got to go ahead for some of the major leading players to go ahead and put this information out. Okay? So my question to Barra JAGDEO and A.F.C. is, please tell the Guyanese people, what do you know about Mr. Tamesh Jagmohan and Mr. Arafat Kwalinder? What is your relationship with them? And do you know that they're smuggling Guyana's gold, Guyana's natural resources out of the country into Venezuela and then being placed on ships and sent to Turkey? This is my question to Mr. Barra JAGDEO and Mr. Ifran Ali. Okay, that's the first question. My next question is, okay, why was security for the Mohammeds used This is the question I'm asking here right now. Why was the Mohammed's personal security used as polling agents during the 2020 election to safeguard and monitor ballot boxes? The same Mohammeds that you guys are attacking right now, the same Mohammeds that financed you during the last election, why were their personal security used by you, the People's Progressive Party? Why? Tell us why. Explain that to the Guyanese people, Mr. JAGDEO and Mr. Ifran Ali. We want to hear it. We want to hear it. All right? And like I said before, as I was told, during the 2020 elections, after the P.P.P. loss, all of the East Indian businessmen left and moved over to the A.P.N.U. because they had to go where the soup was. So they put them out where the soup was. Mr. JAGDEO, Mr. Ifran Ali, did the Mohammeds spend $500 million into getting you elected into power in Guyana during the 2020 elections? Okay? Did they do that? Did they spend $500 million towards getting you elected and into power during the 2020 elections? Also, Mr. JAGDEO and Mr. Ifran Ali, yeah, the Mohammeds was doing their dirt, they were smuggling and they were doing whatever it was they were doing. Mr. JAGDEO, Mr. Ifran Ali, would the Mohammeds been able to accomplish all that they accomplished without your help, without the help of the government? And I'm going to answer that one for y'all. The answer is no. JAGDEO knows if a monkey goes in the fucking woods and takes a shit in Guyana. There is nothing that goes on in Guyana that JAGDEO doesn't know.
That Exxon has to be fair. Listen, I never eat so much ramen in my life. You hear? Ramen to tea, breakfast, and dinner. Correct.
I look how you look good now, Emily. So you gonna make I invest in a box of ramens. Be friend, lose weight, get fair, skin smooth. Ramens is it.
Ramens is it, boo. Every day, and you know, here this bitch used to do every time you call she, we eating boo. Ramens again. Cause all the ramens used to be was a different flavor.
That is it.
I discovered shrimp spicy, beef spicy.
So much has been going on in Guyana that, remember, just recently, Miss Melly found herself in ICE detention center. She never got the chance to really explain to us some of the details of those confines. In this video right here that we're about to present to you right now, Delta 9 family, she's about to give us some insights as to what that experience was like. Let's hear right now from Melly and her friend Odessa Primus, the very funny Odessa Primus.
Chicken, what? Cajun chicken, Cajun beef, veggie spicy. Listen. Every single flavor of ramens you have to think about.
Oh God. Ramens is good food, that is it. I don't like ramens at all. I don't think I could make it in the jail.
I have to make it, girl.
And meat children is one ramens, you know. Well, not for lunch, but like for eating. I was like, oh God. I was even ashamed for picking it up. Like, what is it?
I have never had ramens until I was in the lockup. Never had ramens. Me son, I used to see my son go and buy it and make it and eat it with sausage and all in it. But I never tasted or anything, but I couldn't understand why these little children like ramen soup so much. Them little children love ramen.
And then here now, when I went to the US, the first in August, they got a ramen selling in the thing that got like a red thing on top. It's like a Chinese thing.
Girl, the ramen's coming in our flavor, girl.
Listen, when I bring the cause it's a spicy thing. Oh my Jesus bread. And it's not even me buy it. This is the thing. Is what's your name? Heaven sent by the thing. I said, well, what story is this?
You meet Heaven
buy
sent?
a whole pack. Eh?
You meet Heaven sent?
This what story is this?
Big up yourself, George.
Look, should I write here in the comment section? You see that? She said it's from the Dollar Tree.
Yes, the ramens. But here it is work in prison. Any detention
work in prison. Like you're an old time jail, man. Here how it's work in prison. Malice nakat. Here how it's work in prison, friend.
The British them hold me the Thursday. Thursday, is it Thursday get hold? What is that? Yes, it's a Thursday. Yes, there is a Thursday.
Somebody else send me a donut to now. Let pass Melissa.
No
donut.
And right now in the country, they got US shortage. So it's a situation where it's one of the highest exchange rates as well. And that's a real thing. Under the PNC, currency was around, you know. But things definitely change in Guyana. But did they change for the better or for the opposite?
Not. Only me, boo.
This was this.
When I went to prison, that donut thing I used to buy in a plastic.
Well, if you really doing the most in the prison there?
Yes, because here in the girl. When I go in the Thursday, remember me now the system does work. I now go in there.
I call it.
By the time they done book me, I didn't stay in New York. So my critics when they jump up hollering, oh, Melly on a plane coming back to Guyana. I wasn't coming back. I wasn't actually coming back to Guyana. They were transferring me from New York to New Orleans. Hello. If you see how the people had auntie like a fucking criminal. I can't cuss, right?
You could cuss, yes.
If you see how they had your auntie like a criminal, there's handcuff your hand, right? When they don't handcuff your hand, they put a thing around your waist and they handcuff the hand thing to your waist, and then they put on them two. You see how they get Louis? The man will kill Louis or wherever you name the man will kill, and then they get a chain thing on your foot. They put on your foot. This is how you walk. That is how they just escort you to JFK.
That's dark.
Oh my God, they will never help him. I went for True J.
So listen.
Man, I didn't know that this how they had you with handcuff and so.
You would think, mind you, somebody with no criminal record, you would think when these people come for me, you would think I'm a criminal. 6 of them in this apartment.
Thank you, Jay.
When they done, when they put me in the car, they quit on to me. I said, so what's all of this for? I thought it was just the handcuff on my hand. The man was like, no, in case you want to jump, in case you decide to open the car and jump out. I was like,
thank you. Yeah, because you always get ideas. Thanks, Jay.
Jump out and go where? I done peacefully. So I go in with y'all. I'm very, you know, I was complying with everything that y'all say. Like, what's the need for all this extra security? People put me hand, jail me. Anyway, when I reach the center now, put me in a cell.
Yannick coming like saving grace. You see them crosses over there? Look at them. They hustle. Yannick by I don't know, baby love.
Kiki, thank you, baby.
Look how they try the last minute. They think nobody gonna come. Go Yannick. Go Yannick. Oh God, she done clicking already. Go Yannick. Go Yannick. Go. Thank you so much, Jay. Jay, guy, you've been looking out for me. Jay say I help you now. Oh my guy.
Man, Yannick is the pharma student.
I don't know.
Asking for a friend.
No, I don't. I think I know Yannick over here.
You think I should get him some mashed potato too? Some. What do you think?
Why you don't get them some limited so they can cash shit and I keep all the food in them?
Whee!
Imagine she, eh? When I do over here, she do over there. Cooking up a style. Get in this and get in that.
Hello.
Melissa, now that I'm coming back to America, for the next couple of days and so, well, couple of months, or maybe weeks, who knows. Send barrel now.
We want any barrel?
Stuff.
What kind of stuff?
Anything. It's not them Guyanese. Go and full it up by the Dollar Tree.
When you don't pay attention, that's the thing what they want, right? So that they could sell your dreams like that. Right, PA? You see, if we the people, right? If we the people don't pay attention to the persons that we leave in authority, that's when things like this could happen. Because why are our borders not more firm with certain things if we got this type of threat for so many years? Might it be that this thing is going on for a while now, but it was never highlighted? So persons never really get into investigating because people making a set of money, so nobody care about what's going on with the people on the ground. The thing is this: if the people in authority, right, to protect you and inform you about what's going on with these so-called foreign invaders, are not really doing what they should be doing, where does that leave you and me, the regular citizens, unprotected and uninformed? And how could we allow that? That makes the society doubly unsafe when you got them type of thing going on. But let me continue with this conversation with Melly Mel, because this is one of the persons who has exposed a lot of the corruption going on, and she met in a lot of hardships because of it. And she's explaining some of her traumatic experiences that she had while in ICE detention, which she's free from right now, chilling and laughing about the whole thing, even though it was very traumatic.
Oh God. Melissa, want them address for yourself in the last one.
What? Oh God, is why I do press now. I trying to see we asking who the person that signed that I ain't answering. Waiting to hear the incarceration.
Thanks, Shana. Wow, what's he saying? Ramen some meat. Thanks, Jay. Oh my God, somebody send Melissa something.
You send ramens on this live, so
level of process.
Yeah, send ramens.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Chanela. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll watch you when I call myself an actress. She didn't cook up, girl. Mix meat cook up. Them things should they telling me.
Load.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, friend in prison who eat their ramens. Guess who's having cook up? Bob.
Listen, you see them jail food you all see on TV is real.
Hmm.
You know the sappy thing with the stick I make? That was the food that I was being offered.
Oh God, Melissa, please stop. We make her realize I can't make it in jail. I gotta be a better person, cause
And before we jump off the line, we must make sure that we highlight it again. This is the double D. Just a few months before the incident that went down with Adrianna, right? We're going to get a chance to look at the deep part of the pool, and I'm going to put it into the record again so that persons can see it, have access to it, and be able to use the footage to present to their audiences as well, so that every person all over the world, yeah, I see what's going on right there. That's the deep part of the pool. That they say the young girl was in there for so long, nobody see she, right? Nobody see she. People swimming instructor, being able to find the person that is in 8 feet of water in a small pool like that. A number of different times people search, people shoot camera in the pool, people story changing now, all kind of thing going on. But it's on your screen right now for you to observe. And you make your own analysis. Look at what's going on there, man. Analyze for yourself. Putting it in the record again. Because these kind of things make Guyana an unsafe place. Not just for me, not just for you, but for every single person that is living there and that has any person that is there that is their loved one. It's unsafe. It's unsafe when people would manipulate parents to leave a premises knowingly, right? When their child would be found in there just hours after. It's dangerous. It's a society that we can't encourage if we want to see real growth and we want to see real development in a society that is so wealthy. Look how much wealth we got, buddy. Look how much wealth we got. You could tell me why we can't be living in a much different way? Why would a police force think that they can do some of the things that we've seen done at the scene? And up to now, an entire month would have passed. The whole world watching. All kind of thing you're hearing. You're hearing that this young girl float before she bloat. How could you float before you bloat? It is scientifically impossible. And we heard from the certified pathologist and they explained it very detailed. This is the last picture, right? See how close the family was? You can't float before you bloat. Did y'all see any bloat and real swelling on Adriana's body when her father took her out today? We ain't see no bloat. So how did she float? It don't make no sense. The doctor even said that, look, if that's the case, then that's a new scientific experience that they got to document because it would never happen like that and it never happened like that before. We're not going to accept the foolish explanations. We're not going to accept them sweeping this one under the rug because it means all of we in danger, money. If we allow them to sweep this under the rug, all of we in danger. This is the pool in the night time. This is the pool in the night time. Look at the deep part of the pool in the night time. This is the thing that frustrates me because as a person that grew up swimming and going to pool and swimming in creek and them thing and in the black and them thing, I know alright. They ain't got no current. They ain't got no part that this girl could get tucked away underneath no thrush or nothing. How couldn't they find this girl for so long in this shallow set of water? 8 feet. Yes, it's deep, but it's not that deep. It is not that deep, Delta 9 family. Thumbs up the content. Boost it in the algorithm. Thanks to every single person who would have subscribed so far. If you have not yet subscribed, it don't cost you nothing. Hit that subscription button, buddy, and stay updated with everything we're going on in Guyana and in the diaspora. One love, and I will catch you in the next flight. Thanks again for tuning in and making sure that I leave this one in the record so that persons can see this is the Double D establishment. Just a few months before the situation went down with Adrianna.